is the POSTIVI-TEA Podcast.
See what we did there?
Welcome to our brand new podcast where we bring you half an hour of happiness.
Kickstarting your week with us the right way.
Whether you join us on your commute,
Your weekly tidy up,
while you cook your favourite dinner,
or you listen to relax.
we've got you covered
So join me and Ellie every week
for a bit of positivity,
where we share hilarious and happy stories from around the globe.
as well as your own personal highlights.
Guaranteed to boost your mood and make you smile.
We bring your daily positivity to you, so look no further and make this positive podcast a part of your weekly routine.
And switch on the kettle and let's have a brew. Hello and welcome to the POSITIVI-TEA Podcast with us, Andy and Ellie. We hope you're feeling good. How are you feeling, Ellie?
Oh, I'm feeling absolutely fabulous as always. I've had a full day of teaching and it's pitch black outside, but I'm just so happy to be here with you, bringing all the positivity to people's lives.
I don't know if that sounded sarcastic, but we'll go with it.
It's not sarcastic at all. Of course it's not.
No, that's good. All right. Every Monday, we want to kickstart your week the right way by exposing a few of our favourite smile-worthy stories, which we found in the news this week. But before we spill the tea...
Exactly. Just before that, every single episode we get a different theme, right? So we asked you to get in touch and tell us your funniest lockdown moment. So something so funny that would have never otherwise happened had it not been for the restrictions. We're talking the half-naked Zoom calls, Andy's pro at that, the constant family quizzes, buying 300 outfits for your dog out of boredom. I'm joking, of course. Baking 965,000 banana breads, or, of course, taking the bin out in your high heels.
If you don't get in touch with us last week, but you're still listening now, definitely get involved, play along, tweet us or message us on Facebook and Instagram at Andy and Ellie UK. And tell us what your funny lockdown story is, because we want to put a smile on everyone's faces if you're listening.
Of course we do. And as we always start the show by spilling the tea, bringing the smile-worthy, positive stories to you, we've got 4 crackers lined up. So our first one is it's adorable. It's animal themed. So if you love the animals, you'll love this. A tiny owl. What do you reckon a tiny owl sounds like, Andy? Tweet-tweet.
Like a little pathetic ooh.
Ooh, that kind of sounds like a dog whimpering.
Yeah, it is.
Lovely. So a tiny owl, right, was rescued from a Christmas tree in the Rockefeller Center in New York City. So the BBC reported last week of a tiny little owl having been discovered in the New York Rockefeller Center clinging to a Christmas tree. How cute is that? So they've now named the bird... Whoa, relax. It's not that exciting. They've renamed the bird Rockefeller, and it's being looked after at Ravensbeard Wildlife Centre, and it will be soon released back into the wild. Obviously, that really hit a nerve with you there. So tell me what you're thinking.
Oh no, it was cute. I can just picture this tiny little owl.
It's tiny,
just chirping away, right in the Christmas tree.
Yeah, of course. And as always, everything that we ever talk about, we pop on our social media at Andy and Ellie UK on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So make sure you get on the socials to see
follow.
This tiny little owl. We will post it.
I'm gonna do my arse knitting thing every time I see it now. Mm-hmm. Did it have Christmas lights on it? Do you think?
What? The Christmas
not
tree?
the owl, the Christmas tree. Yeah.
Of course it did. What are you talking about?
So it's even better. So people probably thought like it was a real ornament.
Yeah, they thought it was part of the tree.
Oh my god.
And then when they heard the
failed howl.
They thought, oh, we better get that out of there, or the RSPCA will be on our back, or whatever the American version is.
I don't know if they've got one. Maybe. Who knows?
Well, I'm sure they care about the animals.
No, absolutely. I mean, the owl was probably just chilling, and it probably wanted to be there, didn't it? Unless did they move the Christmas tree? They took down the Christmas tree, and the owl was still in the Christmas tree when they took it down. Maybe.
No, so they popped it up because everybody's getting festive early this year. In this massive centre, and then obviously they're decorating it, and then they just see this little owl just chilling near the top of the tree. And I bet you it was a huge tree as well, because you know how they go all out in New York City for Christmas, don't they? And then they just found this tiny little owl probably shaking, scared from all these epileptic Christmas lights. And then, they saved it, and now it's being reared back to good health.
What do you do? What if it was a dancing owl? Like, the lights would go, and it was just like that.
They
like,
do that, though, don't they? Owls,
not the owl, though.
Well, have you
seen
how... Yeah, but have you seen how long an owl's legs are?
Oh, yes.
That will freak you out. And we will also post this on our socials. It can just go hand in hand. But when you see an owl, you think, well, wine is my life. So, it's literally about the size of a bottle of wine, right? This owl. Obviously a fully grown one, not a little one. And then its head is just the little top bit, of course. You know what a head is. But if you, I don't know why you would ever do this, but if you sort of go to molest an owl and you sort of break apart its legs, it's got 6 foot long legs. So it's literally just legs and this exorcist head. Yeah, it's weird, man.
It is really weird. I only recently saw it as well. So it's a whole new thing to me, seeing those long legs, which I never expected.
It's weird.
And
it's so weird.
It's very, very weird. They didn't put that in Bambi, though. Like, you know when the owl does like a little 360 in Bambi? Have you seen Bambi?
I have, but years ago.
Oh, it's such a
I
good
bet you
film.
watch it every night.
Yeah, that used to be one of my go-to films. And it made me cry. It still makes me cry. It's a Christmassy kind of film, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know Joe Wicks?
The
cool geezer. Yeah, he's a good-looking geezer. So I haven't really been following his routine, his daily little exercises. I kind of wish I did, because I may be in better shape than I currently am, but fear not. If you're the same as me, then don't worry. We'll get back to how we were. So Joe Wicks has raised over £2 million for his children in need. Not for his children in need, but for children in need. He did a 24-hour non-stop exercise-a-thon.
How crazy
like a
is
marathon,
that?
but like a 24-hour exercise.
Well, so I watched Children in Need. Did you watch Children in Need?
I didn't. Does that make me
you're
a bad
person? You're an awful
person.
Yeah, well, I will. I'll make you feel bad. But yeah, so he came on and he explained what happened. And he literally did non-stop exercise for 24 hours. And he had celebrities on, Mel C from the Spice Girls and other people. I was going to do a long list then, but I can only remember Mel C. She must be the only memorable one. Sporty Spice, I think. Is she Sporty Spice? She is Sporty Spice. Yeah. She's but he said that it was the worst for him at about 3:30 in the morning, and you can imagine constantly moving. Woo wee, not for me. Thank you very much.
No, absolutely. I don't even move for more than half a minute, half an hour. It's the longest I'll do exercise for.
You just exposed yourself there. You can't go for longer than a minute. Andy Jarvis. There he is.
Guys. If anyone wants to try that out, let me know.
Whoa, you're making me scream, and not in a good way. So our next funny story, well, it's positive, of course. It's kind of like bad and good coming together. So it starts off a bit sad, and then it turns into this lovely story of a missing wedding album. So the pictures of Colin and Helena Hutt's special day were found by V. Scheuer in her Plymouth home. She then posted about it on a local Facebook group. So the couple were reunited with their wedding album after it was shared nearly 8,000 times online. It's the only record of their wedding and was lost after remove. It's so sad. But the couple who've been married for 39 years were absolutely over the moon to have their album returned. Mrs. Scheuer, whose house it was, said she found it when searching in her loft and noticed it was in lovely condition. That's a nice little point, isn't it? Lovely condition. She goes, I said, my goodness me, there is someone that is missing this. So Mrs. Hutt, thank you. So this is the wife, actually explained it had gone missing many years ago, but she did not know exactly when or where, as they moved several times during her husband's career. Clearly not a modern woman.
No.
She should have a career as well. Well, she said it was the return of the album was the best gift that anybody could have given to us. I love the fact that she was like, oh, good heavens, somebody must be missing this. Well, yes, it's their blooming wedding album. That's so sweet, though. What a positive
cute.
story.
That's romantic. That's like when people lose their wedding rings and then they find them in the sea 100 years later, but do you know what I mean? A little bit. There was one a while ago where somebody found a wedding ring. He lost his wedding ring and he found it later on because it was growing carrots or something, and it grew on a carrot or something. I was like, what? What?
That was so obviously he'd like dropped it in the garden and he'd planted some carrots and then the carrot grew inside it, didn't it? So it was like this kind of bulging carrot to the left and the right, but in the middle there was just this wedding ring. It's so weird.
First of all, I picture it as it's coming out, as it's sprouting out. That is very romantic, very cute. Well done. Hopefully they framed it. It was framed anyway, isn't it?
Yeah,
so hopefully they've hung it up, I guess.
Hung it up?
Hung it up.
What?
Yeah. Well,
hopefully they popped it on their mantelpiece.
Yeah, hopefully
as
they didn't
it's
just
a
left
photo
it in
book.
their loft again, is where I'm getting
I think
at.
you've got your high hopes for this couple.
Yeah,
I hope
so-
they've hung it up. I hope they've framed
I hope
a
they're
book.
not going to lose it again, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, was it a book? Oh, it was a book, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. Maybe not. Well, so I've got Priscilla. Her birthday was an unusual one this year, Ellie. She turned 106
Wow.
on Sunday. 106. Hopefully I'll go past 100. But we'll see.
What would you do though? Like you get to that age, and it's
true.
like,
You
what
can
is
think,
your
now what?
existence? Yeah, because you know the end is nigh. Well, this is a bit of a negative.
The
end is near, and so I face.
This is sad. When
Oh, some people get dead grumpy though, don't they? Because they kind of think
Oh,
like,
no, I'd be
well,
dancing. I'd be dancing at 106.
Would you?
Yeah, if I could dance, I'd be one of those like really cool granddads. Like I'd be wearing my black cap. I'd be wearing my cap, skinny jeans. You know, the whole lot. No, I wouldn't be able to get in skinny jeans. I'd be no chance. But
well,
I'll
it's
try
because
and
your
pop
mum
some
feeds you
moves,
apple
know?
pie.
Yeah, that's it.
No, not at all. Have you got
It's
anything
lovely.
else to
Well,
add?
yeah. So it's not just that she's done 106, although that is awesome. So she actually survived COVID as well. So she caught COVID a month ago, and she spent a month in hospital as well, recovering. And people kind of thought that she wasn't going to make it, but it's very nice that she managed to beat COVID as well. So she's winning right now. She's on the roll.
She's winning.
So she's winning at life.
I'd love to know what she's thinking, because there's so many people that have unfortunately lost their lives for COVID, people who are like fit and young as well, and then it's like she's just skilling it, isn't she? 106, just celebrating a birthday. I'll just get corona as something to do for 4 weeks.
It's like COVID, good luck.
Good luck, that's ridiculous. And that rounds up our Spill the Tea round on this show. So we've gone through some fantastic positive stories to get you in the mood. That's the way that we start, but it's always refreshing to talk about our own positive highlights. And of course, we asked you to tell us yours too. So funny lockdown stories, but come on Andy, get your brew on, let's have a chat. So I know you're all dying to know what my hilarious lockdown story is. Well, personally, my funniest lockdown story is obviously all the drunk Zoom quizzes. I don't know, did you experience that or not really? Get the gin out?
No, we did a few quizzes, but yeah, nothing drunk worthy.
No, well, I suppose the problem is I don't really know what we can and can't say right now, because we don't want to just get too crazy and get too expose every aspect of our life so far. But there were some funny things that went down on them Zoom calls, and I'm sure we'll get to it in a later episode. Wink, wink. So I know that the best thing to come out of lockdown is definitely the pranks that I've been playing on my parents. So obviously I'm 21, went to uni for 3 years. And now I'm just stuck with them all the time, have been since March. I know you're in a similar situation in that respect. And my parents, I don't know how they haven't died yet, because I keep jumping out at them. I keep screaming at them, not in an aggressive way, but just making them jump. It's just funny for me. And the other day, my mom had a sleep during the day. And obviously it turns dark at 4 o'clock now, doesn't it? So I went into her room and I went to tell her about something funny that happened at college. And she went, "What time is it?" And I went, "God's sake, Mum, it's 9 o'clock." And she she could have been naked or anything. She ripped back that bed sheet and she jumped out of bed. She went, "It's not my dinner, I've not had my dinner." I went, "Mum, it's 10 to 6, relax."
Oh, no.
But it was so funny.
I'd hate that if somebody woke me up and then said, you get all panicking and stressed, and then, I mean, that has happened to me once. I've you're woken up and you're like, "Oh, I'm late," and then you realise you're not. Diabolical.
Sometimes.
And that's upsetting, because then you can't relax when you try and go back to sleep as well.
No, of course you can't. Oh, it's like if you wake up an hour before you're meant to be up, and then you keep waking up every 15 minutes after that until you actually have to get up. It's what a waste.
And you feel more tired by doing that.
Oh, God, of course you do.
Well, if you follow me on social media, most of you kind of know that I've got a new puppy.
Oh.
Yeah. She's called Amber. We were going to call her Ruby, so it's between Ruby and Amber. We'll upload a photo so you can see what she looks like. She's now just turned 10 weeks, and she's a Cavapoo. So it's like Cavalier King Charles Spaniel mixed with a poodle, but she's more kind of Cava, which is quite nice.
Oh my gosh. That's like, have you ever watched Undateables?
Yeah.
There's a guy on there who's autistic, and he goes, I know what that is, a King Charles
That's a Cavalier
Spaniel.
King Charles Spaniel.
Yeah, or something
I can
like
tell.
Yeah, sorry, that just
I
reminded
can do a
me
really
of that.
good. This is a real big side note. I can do a really good impression of Richard from Undateables.
Oh, do it, please.
Have I shown you this before?
No.
Oh, okay. So you want me to say about the puppy story in
Yeah.
Richard? Okay. Okay. So my dog called Amber. She's 10 weeks old, and she's because she's a puppy. She doesn't really know what's going on. So she. I can't. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Oh
that,
my
but
gosh!
that's-
As a disclaimer, obviously we are not at all making light of people with
No, we
disabilities.
love him.
But Richard's accent is just so iconic, and he swears all the time, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he gets angry if somebody lives too far away from him. Bless him.
Oh yeah, if it's more than a mile down the road, he's like, well,
No.
what would he say? No.
We're allowed to be like, she lives in fucking London.
Literally, that's perfect. That's so funny.
Brilliant. So yeah, I don't know how I learned. I don't remember the day I managed to do an impression of him, but yeah, he's an awesome dude. Yeah, so the puppy, obviously, she's 9 weeks old, 10 weeks old when we got. Well, she was 8 weeks old when we got her, and she obviously didn't know left to right, and she was just clueless. She's done a few little things. She's ran into the. We've got a French patio door, so she decided to run right into that. Bless her. She starts carrying bottles. Like if I have like a plastic bottle, we'll put it on the floor for her to kind of play with, but she'll manage to somehow pick it up in her mouth and then kind of like scurry away, like being all sassy. She's quite sassy when she's got the bottle in her mouth, and she's like, this is mine, nobody touch it, this is mine.
You need to make a TikTok account for her. She
Oh,
would go
do you know what? I was
viral.
thinking about that. Yeah, seeing her grow up. Do you know what? I'm actually going to do that late tonight.
So cute though.
She is
tiny.
adorable. She is. I don't want her to grow up. That's the thing. They grow up so quick. Oh, it's like a baby, but she goes up so quick. So she likes going upside down a lot. So like when she wants to be stroked on her little stomach, she'll roll over under her belly, and she loves being like little stroked and tickled.
Yeah.
So when I'm carrying her, so she's upside down.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like tickling her, and she's kind of nibbling at my fingers, and then she just starts weeing. And the wee just kind of like, doesn't go in my face or anything, but kind of just starts going everywhere. And I'm in panic mode, because I'm like, what do I do? Like, I can't chuck her, I can't do anything. So I'm just running around. I kind of just had to let it happen, but yeah, so that's the joy of having a little puppy. But yeah.
But she's a girl. But that's like what you have with like a baby boy when it wheezes in your face or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like those cartoons, isn't it? But it's not. It wasn't quite to that extent, but it was more of a shock of I can't do anything. I've just got to accept this. I can't drop her. I'm just gonna let this happen now.
Oh gosh, well that is our funny lockdown stories, but of course we found out what your funniest highlights were too. This is your cup of positivity quick time. This week we asked people on our social media to tell us their funny lockdown stories, something that you would have never otherwise got up to had it not been for the restrictions. But don't fear if you've not sent us your own interaction. Get involved with us online. We're on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Andy and Ellie UK, and then you can be featured on the show. So Molly from Sheffield got in touch and she absolutely delivered with her message. She goes to me, I spent $5,000 on nothing, destroyed my hair, all my eyebrows fell out because I thought I could laminate them but I couldn't. I also wound up my whole family. Now this is absolutely brilliant, and what a way to get under somebody's skin. I wound up my whole family by buying 200 miniature plastic bees and hiding them round the house in every place possible. Oh my gosh. And the thing is, all the beauty stuff sounds like such a disaster, but she assured me, no, it's funny. But I just thought, imagine if you don't like mess, 200 bees. There's one on the toilet seat, there's one on the doorknob, there's one on the fridge, there's probably one on the dog. Like, oh, it's just so funny. So funny.
We used to do something similar in school where we would kind of get pegs. We would buy a load of pegs, like plastic pegs for like washing lines, and we would try and put them on random people during the school.
Oh, no.
It's kind of a trend I want to try and bring back, to be honest with you, because it's quite funny. Like they'll be going a whole day away with just a random peg on them.
That is stuff like that probably makes you laugh at school, but you can't do the social distancing at the minute.
No, that's true. We're gonna have to wait. George said during lockdown he would put his full suit on for a family Zoom because there has been no opportunities to dress up during lockdown. He says this week he's gone one step further and got the Christmas jumper out.
Oh, yeah.
There we are. Spice it up.
Well, it is. It's festive now, and I so agree with the fact that it's been a bit of a rubbish year. So, of course, get the tree out early, get the tinsel out, get them baubles out, honey. No time to waste. And I have loved getting my festive cook on, but I just love doing everything early this year. I think it's so... Everybody just deserves a bit of festive.
Yeah, might as well. Nothing else to do, is there?
Of course, and a few radio stations finally played some of their first ever Christmas songs last week, and you've got people texting in saying, oh, well, use them a bit of a Grinch, I have to wait till properly December, but this year we're up for it, and I'm just like, I'm so there for it.
Yeah, I've just been trying to avoid Christmas songs, I must admit.
You're such a Scrooge.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? I don't know, I just wanted to try this year without going without any of them. It's more of a challenge than, like, being Scrooge. Like, being honest, it's more of a challenge to try and go without listening to a Christmas song.
A weird challenge you have with yourself. Yes, okay, Andy. Okay.
Also, Christmas jumper, we've all got that weird one, haven't we? I've got one with like a carrot sticking out of a snowman's nose.
Oh, what an iconic
one. It's like a 3D
jumper.
one. Yeah, Christmas ones are always like 3D, or like they've got like something on them more lights. They light up and weird things.
If you were drunk out on Christmas Eve with that, there'd be people coming all over you.
I'm sure there would be.
What I mean is like coming to pull your carrot, but all of that in the last 15 seconds just sounded completely wrong.
Brilliant. We love it. We love it. Well, Manish said he got so bored that he cleaned all the doors in his house. Yeah, great opportunity, great time, which he never ever does. Yeah, don't blame you. So he went round every rim with fairy liquid.
He went round every rim with fairy liquid.
He went round with every...
He went round everybody's rim.
He went round every rim with fairy liquid and a sponge. Yeah, lockdown really got him, didn't it?
Yeah, of course it did. God, that sounds awful. Imagine getting that bored that you go round every room with a bit of fairy liquid. Well, sometimes
I'm sure he polished those rims and managed to clean.
From one ridiculous story to another, Tim also got in touch and he had me absolutely howling at his expose, at his admission to us. So he said that his friends and family agreed to a fancy dress Zoom quiz. The couple who suggested it were well up for going all out, so proper dressing up, proper giving it a good go. Next minute, Tim's sister messages everybody, bar that couple that want to go all out, saying, don't actually get dressed up, just let it just be them. So you can imagine. The evening of the call comes. Tim accepts the couple who suggested getting dressed up last on the call. Everybody was dying laughing. Do you want to know why?
Go on, so I can tell what's happened, but go on.
Everybody was in their normal clothes, bar this couple who had come, not even just dressed as something, innocent, as Carol Baskin and a tiger from Netflix's famous Tiger King documentary. Full makeup, everything. They'd truly gone all out.
Amazing.
Oh, just
Tim, send us a photo if you can. I don't know if you managed to screenshot it or anything, but please send us something so we can share that. So I actually want to say that's brilliant. I'd feel so bad doing that. Like, I'd feel so guilty afterwards, but I don't know. I feel like it's a trick I'd love to put on somebody else as well. So I can't really say anything.
Of course. Well, can you imagine though? Like, that's so awkward as well because you've got to be so careful with not upsetting like family and friends, especially around Christmas time.
Hopefully they took the spirit.
Oh, of course.
Graham's got in touch to tell us about his bread and scone baking disaster, however you want to say it. We're not going to cause a debate right now. He said, I'm not baking during the second lockdown, mainly due to the cease and desist order the environmental health people slapped on me. Joking, of course.
What a joker.
What a joker.
Joking, of course. All we had is there.
Graham claims that what he had created was so bad that the local clay pigeon shooting club wouldn't even use his scones as bullets. That is saying something.
He's a comedian, this chap.
He's top chap, Graham. He said his mixture looked so bad that when he got his hands in to mix it up, he looked like an extra from Shaun of the Dead.
Ew.
Yeah. Maybe bacon isn't for you, Graham.
No.
Oh, he does go to finish though, saying, Paul Hollywood can bite me. So no, instead of a Hollywood handshake, it's a little bite shake. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
We won't ask where you want to be bitten, Graham, but we'll go with it. Well, good luck next year. Hopefully next time you kind of bake those scones, hopefully they come out a little bit better.
Yeah,
and,
of
you can
course.
put your cream and jam on top, or your jam and cream on top.
This guy literally went all out on this email to us. He sent us about 3 pages, and he even finished it by saying that apparently the council is waiting to take it out of a skip on a low loader. Well, of course, Graham. What a hilarious
Many
person.
metaphors. I love it.
Every single episode has a different theme, but today, funny lockdown stories. We're only touching on the lockdown, but bringing the positive side out of it. So we won't be doing lockdown-based stuff again, but of course, whatever the theme is, we let you know in advance. And if you want to have your cup of positivity featured on the show, then what are you waiting for? Drop us a message and give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Andy and Ellie UK.
Now, not everyone seems to share the same excitement when it comes to positivity. Sometimes maybe you felt a little bit annoyed that someone is so overly happy, Ellie, or something has happened which you really should be quite pleased about, but you're not really too pleased, or not as excited as you think you should be. So this is Overbrewed, where we just let it all out and discuss some things that everybody else seems to get excited about, but really it just kind of irks you.
Irks you, big time.
You.
For me personally, buying Christmas presents is the bane of my life. Look, I'm no Grinch. I absolutely adore Christmas. But you see these people that, you know, there used to be adverts on TV, and I can't remember what the name of the company was, but they would basically start off in like March, April and say, put £5 in every week and that'll be your Christmas fund. Save up with us. It was like a Christmas bank, and I'm like, no sir. Now usually these people that love getting everything organised, they're super thoughtful, they think about it for each person, every family member. Whereas for me, it just completely invokes anxiety. I'm freaking out thinking, will people hate me if I don't get them exactly what they want? The pressure is there. But whenever you ask somebody, oh, what do you want for Christmas? They go, oh, don't be silly, you don't have to get me anything. But really, they're like, you better get me 10 things, all £100 each. And I just don't like it. Oh, don't buy me anything. It's like, well, you'd be in the doghouse if you didn't. Usually, I'm the week before Christmas buyer. What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the opposite. I'm the kind of guy who runs frantically with all the other kind of dads and all the guys running around the marketplaces and all the different shops thinking, help, or like, this will do, won't it?
Yeah, buy your mum a mug or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy
But
Christmas.
I feel like when you get older, though, you're like, well, what else? Yeah, everyone's pretty much got everything now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I bought my grandma an iPad the other week, last year.
What?
Sorry, for Christmas. Yeah, for Christmas and stuff. Yeah, I just think, well, I can't really top that every year, but it's like she's kind of got that now, so it's like, well, what else can I get? So it's like her socks and mugs. I think that's kind of it, or maybe just a little message to say, I'm still here, I love you. How about that? That's a free present.
That was so lovely.
That was cute,
what a
wasn't it?
surprise!
That
What a surprise off you,
thanks.
Andy. No, that's
But
cute.
the thing that gets me overbrewed, it's kind of related to Christmas shopping. So I used to live, people might know, I used to live in Bath, and we are the #1 Christmas market. So
congrats.
I think we are, something like that. You say congrats, but until you've been there and you've lived there long enough to know that it ends up being a pain, right? So the first time you ever go, it's beautiful, it's magical. You go around, there's loads of like little sheds and all looking cute and all that. But the amount of tourists and everyone from everywhere, people from around the world come to it, people all around the UK come to it, you just can't walk anywhere. If you're doing it frantically shopping as well, and think of like a roadblock, right? But people walking. So people are just walking really slowly in front of you, and they're just like, I understand, yeah, they're taking it all in. They're taking all the Christmas lights, all the decorations. Oh, that looks cute, that's romantic. Yeah, well, look at this stall. You literally can't physically move left or right. You have to then stand and walk but they just walk too slow. Like there's a slow, and then there's slow. Like
Christmas slow.
Christmas slow. Yeah, I think that's the new thing, really. I think that's
what
definitely
we'll
a thing.
call it. I think if you're going around a Christmas market and if you ever want to go and buy food, be prepared or buying. Look, I love a hot Baileys. Oh, damn.
Ooh, yeah.
I love a hot Baileys. I don't mind walking slow if I've got maybe 3 hot Baileys in my hands, because one wouldn't be enough when you're walking behind the slow Christmas shoppers in Bath. But you have to be prepared to queue up. But if you live there, as you'll know, and you're just sort of trying to get home or trying to go to work, it's busy anyway, and you get stuck behind this tirade of people that are walking at 3 miles an hour. Maybe that's generous, 1 mile an hour.
Yeah.
I can imagine it would overbrew. It would stress you out.
It would stress me out, exactly. And then, I'm not saying it's just the old people. It's definitely young people as well, just lounging around. But, it's probably just because I'm jealous because I'm not doing it with anyone else myself. So
Because well, there you go. You said it, not me.
I said it, yeah.
And that's it for Overbrewed. Of course, if you want to get in touch with us and tell us what irks you, something positive but you find the negative in it, something where people are overly happy about something, or it's a joyous event like a Christmas market but you can find the negative in it, then let us know. Get in touch with us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Andy and Ellie UK.
Coming towards the end of a show, we always want to pour some sugar. We are liking these theme names, aren't we, Ellie?
God, yeah.
We were there for a long while trying to create them. So we're looking to pour some sugar in the form of a positive story that caught our attention from across the globe. Ellie, do you want to go first?
Of course I do.
Let's hear it.
First of all, let's go to Ohio. So across the globe, Ohio, hi honey, Ohio. So this is a brilliant story and a fantastic, well, it's not quite the end of the show because you need to try and one-up me. Of course, we love a bit of competition. But this is just such a nice way to sort of come to the end of our Positivity podcast. So a customer in Ohio went and bought a $7 beer and then he toasted the staff with a $3,000 tip as they shut their doors last week due to COVID. So a bit of context to the story. Just before closing time on November 22nd, a man walked in. It sounds like a duck walked into a or is it?
Yeah.
Or that song. That song.
To a lemonade stand.
Or the start of every joke. A man walks into a bar. Ouch.
A man walked into the Cleveland jazz joint.
Yeah, ouch. So a man walks into the Cleveland jazz joint Nighttown. He ordered a Stella Artois. Is that a good drink, Andy? What do you rate that?
I'm not too sure. I'm going to go yes.
Do you think? Have you never tried it?
No, I'm not really. No.
Nah, not really up for the Stella. So we ordered a Stella, asked for the check, and wished the owner, Brendan Ring, well. What surname? In a Facebook post, Brendan Ring said the gesture was an unbelievable but symbolic of the kind of quality folks he has in the bar. He said the staff, who have known him for years, were so grateful and that everybody feels humble.
That's cute, isn't it? Also, it said $7 beer, so I assume that's what, $3.50 for us?
Oh, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah,
about $4.50. So yeah, I think it's Stella. It's just a normal Stella, innit? I think.
Yeah, nothing too fancy.
I don't think it's any fancy. I mean, the 3,000 tip makes it fancy.
I mean, yeah, blooming heck. It's like ordering a cake or a coffee in a coffee shop and then being just like, oh, he's just, $2.5 grand.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
Thanks for the custom.
Well, we're going to go to Barcelona. We've got, I'm probably going to say his name incorrectly, but we'll give it a shot. 26-year-old Adria Balesta. Oh, yeah. See a little tingle I put on there. A little phonetic kind of.
Like
Adria Balesta.
Jesse from Little Mix going. That's what that sounded like. I think I did that so well. What's she trying to do a Jamaican accent?
Jamaican accent, yeah.
She's random.
Oh, I need to see that clip later on. So, Adria Balesta sets up 2 fold-away chairs and a sign in large letters that reads "Free Conversations."
Aww.
So his whole idea is that anyone is welcome to stop, sit, and have a chat with him in Spanish, English, or Catalan, which is another form of Spanish for those who may not know. Yeah, I'm smart. Yeah, I do know my geography. About anything they like. So the idea is to talk freely for a while. The 26-year-old writer and storyteller explains, "We have lost the art of conversation," which I agree to that. I agree. And also a young Italian psychology student was one of the visitors who also agreed and felt like sitting down in the chair. So Adrian says, we live in a world where it's often easier to send a message to someone from another country than to say good morning to our neighbours.
That's so true, actually.
That's so true. That's a nice little thought, isn't it? It's, so he uses Facebook, Free Conversations movement, and Instagram, Free Conversations, to promote his project. So he takes a photo of somebody who's sat in the chair and kind of discusses roughly what they were kind of discussing. So it kind of makes me think that if you listen to this and you can kind of see somebody on the street, or not really on the street, but you see somebody randomly. I'm the kind of guy who would always say hi, like no matter where, to an extent. If I'm going for a walk, for example, I would just kind of say hey or nod my head and be like, you're right. Just little things like that. I think could be nice. Let's spread that this Christmas. I think let's just spread a nice little hey to someone. A little hey, a little low.
A little hey. What is that?
Let's do a little.
Of course it is. Can you do a Stitch impression?
Stitch impression. We are family. Family means friends, and friends means... No, not quite. We'll go there. Put on the spot there. I've never done
Sound more like Andy off Little Britain. And family means nobody gets left behind. Andy? That's too much for me. Oh, what a brilliant time we've had together. Have you enjoyed it, Andy?
Of course.
Always. And thank you so much to everybody who's listened. If you want to give us a share, a retweet, something on Facebook, i.e. a like or a comment, we love the interaction. We would appreciate the support so much, and we hope that we have brought a smile to all your lovely faces. But please do get involved with the conversation. It helps if me and Andy have people to talk to, doesn't it, Andy?
Absolutely. Talk to and also talk about. And this is the whole point of the podcast, is to share the positivity of everyone who's listening. And just highlight someone's day by listening to this, and they might feel a little bit more positive in a non-cringy kind of way. You know what I mean?
Remember to follow us on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook at Andy and Ellie UK. But until next week.
We will see you next week.